The residents of Iwerekun, Solu, Oromija, Awonfi and Odosina villages in Lagos State have tackled President Bola Tinubu's government over the proposed coastal road which will pass through their land. The Nigerian government has started a 700-kilometer Lagos coastal highway which will pass through several communities, leading to demolitions. Residents of the communities, including their traditional rulers, protested against the planned encroachment at the weekend, chanting slogans and displaying placards. Now, residents of these communities, what they are protesting is the rerouting. Now, remember there's an original plan of this coastal road project, but the government of Bola Tinubu deemed it wise to reroute it, which is claiming their land. Of course, you're all hearing about the landmass beach. The Labour Party gubernatorial candidate in the 2023 Lagos gubernatorial election, Rhodes, Vivour, has lent his voice to what Tinubu is doing in Lagos. According to him, he said Tinubu is encroaching and stealing people's lands. Vivour has said that there is no need for the demolition of the landmass beach, that the reason why that landmass beach is being demolished is because Tinubu has an eye on that particular beach. Let's take a listen to Rhodes Vivour as he explained how Tinubu is stealing land in Lagos. Remember, Tinubu was the former governor of Lagos State, and while he was the governor of Lagos State, there were numerous news about land grabbing that is being done by Bola Tinubu. He uses this land to buy people, give it out to politicians that will be remain loyal to him forever. Let's listen to Rhodes Vivour.
People that we were up against in the last election, right? They have, especially I'm talking about the APC, they have no vision for the people of the Southwest or the people of Nigeria. And when a person or a party or a group does not have a vision to sell, then they must sell division. And that has been their consistent strategy, especially in Lagos State. You look back at when Jimmy Agbaje contested, they called him Jimmy Chukwu. There were so many threats, there was violence, there was all sorts. Now, if a person has a vision for a people, that person's focus is to sell that vision, is to educate the people, is to reach out to them, is to appear at every debate, is to talk to them and carry them along to understand where he's trying to take them to. Now, because this did not exist, you found the governor dodging debates, almost 6-7 debates. The governor did not appear at a single one, right? And all of a sudden, after the first election was won, he started calling people that they should set up a debate. And all of us said, we've gone past that stage. And then he started to become a hairdresser and blah, blah, blah. But I first want to lay the foundation that you understand that when a person has a vision to sell, they focus on substance. If a governor has done what he or she is supposed to do, or even a presidential candidate, they want to show that, explain it in detail and carry people along. That's the first thing. Now, the second thing with this sowing of division is that whenever anybody goes up against a Bola Tinubu, the first thing that happens is they try to take away your Yorubaness. Because, like I gave an example of Jimmy Agbaje, right? They take away your Yorubaness. They try and take that away from you. From what they say about Obasanjo, is that they say his father somehow is Igbo, with all the tribal marks on him, and all of that, they say his father is Igbo. At the point you were saying Baba Adebanjo's mother is Igbo. All sorts. They strike at that. I was standing right next to Obafemi Awolowo's first granddaughter, Funke Awolowo, that contested for the House of Assembly position in Apapa. And this APC uncle came to her and called her an Omali. Now the question is, if you can call Awolowo's granddaughter an Omali, what foundation are you standing on when you talk about being progressive, when you talk about, the people that founded this movement that you are apparently clinging to? Now, that's another layer. Now, the final layer is this. The truth of the matter is that Thousands of Yoruba people voted for Peter Obi. Thousands of Yoruba people voted for Vivour revival. And in seeing that and them knowing that, and like I said, in the process of sowing division, their propaganda now is to create a narrative as though Vivour revival or Peter Obi were rejected by the Yoruba people, which is absolute nonsense, right? We won in Alimosho, we won in Shomolu, we won in Koshofe, we won in Ikeja local government. These have been in the past strongholds of the APC. So I think that the way to handle these people is to just realize that they are just a distraction. That's all they are. They are a distraction. They are not focused on any of the problems. They are not focused on any of the solutions. They are not focused on the high unemployment or the poverty that's affecting people or the lack of jobs or our education or our health. They don't care about any of that. They have no solution towards any of that. So instead of actually doing the hard work to think through what can make the lives of millions of people better, they just come to distract. They distract based on, okay, Jimmy Chukwu, I don't even know how they justify that. Gbadebo cannot speak Yoruba well, or his intonation is off. I mean, well, it's like, imagine a house is burning, right? A house is burning, and people are trapped inside that house. And then a firefighter comes, and your problem is, in your mind, the intonation with which that person says, open the door, right? You just realize that all that is a distraction, and that's what they do best. They know how to distract and pull people away from the main issue. What is the main issue? The looting of our Commonwealth for the last 20 years. The fact that people have not seen what has happened with the state finances for so long. And this is what creates the desperation by which they hold on to power. I mean, think about it. You want to govern a people and you use so much violence because you believe that you are supposed to continue governing them. What are you hiding? What is making you so desperate, right? And if people that get power through subterfuge, through violence, they never do it for the interest of the people, because it's the people you are actually fighting. This is not a situation where you are going to war against somebody else. The people you want to govern are the people you are fighting and beating and harassing and doing all of that. So for me, we look at it as these people do not represent the Omoluabi ethos, right? These people have no credibility or anything that even comes close to what Awolowo stood for. They don't come close, right? I mean, this is a man that's a thinking man. This is a man that generated wealth for his people. This is a man that put education first. This is a man that celebrated education. This is a man that celebrated, high quality cerebral thinking. I mean, look at all the books this man wrote, right? And they hang on those coattails, but they are nothing like him. They represent nothing. They have nothing in common with him, aside from just trying to find a way to distract people from the issues at large. So when people are saying, Omali, just understand that it's just a distraction. There's no substance to it. I promise you that if Awolowo was alive, if Chief Awolowo was alive, I do not think he will vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. With the level of poverty and proliferation of area boys all over Lagos, young men that should be in school, young men that should be productive, young men that should be engaged. That's not the Obafemi Awolowo ethos, right? So, in short, I've tried to layer that for you to understand vision, the substance of it, the fact that they're not focused on any of our problems or any of our solutions, and they're just there to distract and just use labels, but there's no substance behind it. And lastly, a lot of these people, right, when you look back at their tweets 2-3 years ago, all of them were calling these same people Omwali, were insulting them. They know the truth, right? They know that these leaders did not have the interests of the people at heart. And there's so much evidence to show. And I see it a lot on Twitter. People pull up their old tweets. So they know the truth, but they're just doing a paid job. When people try to distract you and create this boogeyman of non-indigenous, but go and look, the real story here is that Lagos State has had 2 administrators of Igbo extraction. They are not the ones that converted Lagos properties to their own, right? We've had 2 military administrators. They are not the ones that converted Lagos State property on Bodilon to their own. They're not the ones that converted the former deputy governor's house on Queen's Drive to their own, where the current president now has built his new mansion, right? And you also look at the state of indigents of Lagos State, in Bejuleki, in Epe, in Kurudu, how these state officials, APC members, just go and take land, right? Appropriate land without settling the indigents. And I gave an example of the New Era Foundation that's opposite Amen Estate, huge swaths of land. They came and said that they're going to take it, but they will settle the indigents. They met with the indigents, brought Ghana must go bag of 50 naira notes, right? Indigents started complaining, and their soldiers just started shooting there and chased them away. And now that land belongs to the current First Lady. If you don't turn that road to Amen Estate, you keep going straight, Baba Eke also has taken huge swaths of land. So the biggest land grabbers in Lagos State are not the non-indigenous, who are the ones that are paying money, buying land, and then people turn around and say, oh, you don't have proper documents, they destroy the house, right? They're not going and taking land on gunpoint, they're paying for it, right? So I highlighted this idea to people. So what is this fear that people are going to take over, right? Another point I highlighted is APGA, which is considered an Igbo party that is based in the Southeast, has put up candidates for Lagos State government. In fact, there was a time where there was an Igbo man that was put up as a candidate. I say, if people want to take over your land, go and look at the votes that man got in that election. I promise you, he's not get up to 3 or 4% of the votes in that election. Clearly, if people want to take over, they all sit down in their town square, they'll talk to them, let's vote for our brother and take over Lagos. So there is this boogeyman that the APC creates in every election. And the idea now is to ensure that we're on radio, we're on TV, we're educating people, talking to the voters. Those are the people that really matter. Most of these trolls, to be honest, when they are doing all this work, they know the truth. They know the truth, but they are paid to do these things. It's their job. So we cannot afford to really take it personal or take them too serious. What matters is getting this knowledge to the voter, to the people in these communities, to start to think. And that work is what must be done now, right? It must be done now. It must be consistent. It must be broken down in the Yoruba language, on Yoruba stations, on vernaculars, pidgin stations, elite consensus stations, in newspapers. And we are doing that consistently, right? And then also to let them know that, see, our suffering, we are going to suffer this thing together. If a leader does not work for us, well, all of us are going to suffer this thing. It's not about the tribe that the person is from, especially at the national level. Does this person have you in heart? Is this person there to steal money or to make your life better? And the evidence, the taste is in the pudding, right? So that's my perspective on it.